Alright, what is up guys? JaretCampisi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be back to work on our Yamaha R1M. We're going to be doing the whole rear brake setup and I'm very, very excited. I hope you are too. Sit back, relax, enjoy the video. Alright, first things first, everybody's favorite part of the episode. We got BTT back in action. Also, don't forget to check out all her links. People say they only come to my channel for Christina. Well, she has her own YouTube channel, her own Instagram, her own TikTok, her own OnlyFans page. They're always linked in the description below. So today, these are actually like some of the final parts that we have for the bike. We have more on the way, but as far as parts that are physically here, this is what we've got. So today we're gonna be doing, like I said, the rear brake setup. And this is actually, do you know what this is for, teens?
Something.
Look at her.
Or rather back here, like under there.
Oh, okay.
I can't show you, but it goes under there.
Yeah, so the reason that's going under there is because this caliper is being replaced, but it's going to be underslung now. So we're removing all of this stuff. Yeah, and that's going to hold it. It's going to be pretty technical. I've never done anything like this. So yeah, I'm pretty shocked. I think everyone online probably is too.
And then bringing out these bolts again.
Okay.
You got a preview last episode, but now you're using them this
blue
episode.
bolts, which we should have more of these on the way from Moto Million as well. And again, all these parts are courtesy of Manny at Moto Million. Make sure you guys are using my code.
Able to like replace.
That's what I'm saying. I think he is. We're waiting on a kit, like a full kit from Protai. They're gonna send out.
Ties it in so well with that.
They're gonna send a full kit, hopefully.
Beautiful, beautiful colors.
And then, yeah, don't forget motomillion.com. Use code Campisi. It'll save you money on anything you order. They do ship internationally as well. I've seen a lot of people asking that question. This is dope. I love this. Yes. It's such a small change, but sharp. In the past, these, so that's the new rear rotor. Look at that. So it's drilled and slotted for weight savings. So that should be replacing that guy, which means we're gonna have to pull the whole wheel off. What, like a superhero?
Yeah, like throwing this, like Thor, you know, you have this instead.
Okay.
So, sounds cool.
Fair enough.
Cool idea. If you're looking for
playing
a
frisbee golf with our, yeah.
I'll do that part.
And then here's the last part of our braking system is the Brembo nickel-plated rear caliper, which will go like that. Look at that. So it'll match our front calipers. Look at that. So we'll have Brembo nickel-plated, Brembo nickel-plated calipers front and rear, full carbon fiber lines, carbon brake ducts, and then of course the slotted rear rotor as well. So again, huge shout out to Manny from Moto Million. Thank you guys so much. Let's get to work. Thank you, teens. By the way, before we get started, for some reason half the YouTube section comments thought that we put this upside down. We looked, they're actually, what's it called, labeled. This is in fact the right side if you're on the bike, and then that is in fact the left side. It actually says on there. People were talking about the shocks depressing and hitting this. We did pull it out a little bit, so it should miss it. We will monitor that when we ride the bike. If there is any problems, then we'll just shave this part off up here like we did with the Monster, so no big deal. But there's no other way that these go on. Dotto and I have installed about 5 pairs of these. Yeah, for those of you who are questioning my work, you suck on my teeth. Stop questioning us. No, we don't care if you question us. We're happy to answer questions and things like that. But after I answered it about 20 times in the previous video, I thought maybe I should mention it in the video. They are installed correctly. First order of business, we got to remove this wheel because we have to remove the, what's it called? Rotor. Rotor, thank you. He got his Thor hammer out, and we're gonna go to town. Oh my God! Sorry, headphone users. Look at that thing. Okie dokie. So, pretty easy to remove the wheels on these. Look at that. Axle came out. It was nice and lubed up from before. And then we didn't even bother checking to where, or actually I guess they stay set where they are, huh? Yes. Oh, that's pretty nice. They are gonna need adjusted. Yeah, we'll adjust it anyway. The chain slack needed adjusted anyway. Again, we haven't been riding the bike, so what's the next order of business? Go forward so we can get the chain off. If I can reach it with my fat fingers. We're gonna need the haters to verify if the chain is on correct way. Yeah. So it's not mounted on backwards. I think people just misunderstood, you know. Well, those cooling ducts actually look weird. They hold the caliper there. I always thought that they looked weird. Look at that. That's a whole system going on. Yeah, the cooling ducts do kind of look like they're on backwards, but they're not. All right, I'm gonna give him a hand real quick here. God, look at that wheel. Holy shit. Next step?
Disconnect the caliper from the bracket. Cool thing about these is there's only one bolt holding the whole caliper
Holy
on.
crap.
And it just pivots on this little pin down here, so. Man, that's really in there. And this thing's powerful. See? That comes off. I have the axle in there so it's easier, and the whole thing just kind of comes out.
Damn, that's crazy. That's the old caliper right there.
Yep, the whole thing.
That thing's gonzo.
Look how little that is.
Maybe we should weigh that. What do you think?
It's probably gonna weigh the same.
Yeah, just like the front ones. People were asking why we didn't weigh the front ones. I actually did weigh them off camera. They were literally exactly down to the ounce. Exact same weight, so.
And then I kept this on here so we can not tear out the sensor wire. So there's 2 bolts holding the sensor bracket, and then this will get replaced with a new one, I believe.
All right, next thing he's doing is basically gonna remove the whole sensor attachment there and then get the sensor wire out of there, because I believe all of that gets replaced with just this. So I believe this is where the caliper is gonna attach to, and I think the sensor wire goes right there, Dotto, right?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. So that's gonna replace that entire setup right there. And then we're gonna weigh all of this too, once we get it all disconnected, because I think there's gonna be some significant weight savings, some of which is rotational, so sweet. All right, next thing we're doing is removing, do we have to take the phonic wheel off too? Or?
I believe we do not.
Okay, so we're gonna remove the rotor, and then we'll be able to weigh the new ones and compare it to the old ones.
We're
Look
gonna
at
have
the
to-
amount of
we're gonna
Geppetto
have
Loctite.
We're gonna have to
on there.
re-Loctite it.
Yes, we will. All right, stock rotor is off, rear rotor I should say. Put them on here, see how much it weighs. 1 pound, 14.7 ounces, so almost 2 pounds. Where's the other guy at? Right here, let's see what he weighs. Do the honors.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a lot lighter.
Much better.
And that's rotational mass too. Wow, 1 pound lighter. Exactly.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's 1 pound of savings. And now actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna put everything on and see what the total weight savings is. Okay, so here's the caliper with the bracket and the rotor. 4 pounds, 3.3 ounces. Now we'll swap over all of the new stuff. Look at the difference in the quality. Holy crap. Let's see what we got here. Holy crap. 2 pounds, 11 ounces, so pound and a half. Pound and a half. And the big weight savings, which was a pound, was also rotational mass on top of the wheels, which I don't remember off the top of my head now.
Look at the amount of space and the lack of metal compared to
Yeah, I
here.
know, that's crazy.
So they heat up a lot less.
Okay, sweet. Let's get to work on installing them. Look at that. Just set the rotor on the rear wheel. It looks so badass. I don't know why. We've used these on a lot of our bikes. They are so freaking sick. I believe they're from a company called Braking, which is pretty fitting. They make rotors.
Canada.
But yeah, that's absolutely gorgeous. So we're gonna get this puppy installed and then put the wheel back on and move on to the caliper. All right, we just pulled up the schematics for the rear rotor. 30 Newton meters or 22 foot-pounds. So he's going through and doing that right now. We didn't touch the phonic wheel, so we don't need to screw with that one. And then once this is tightened down, we can throw this bad boy back on the bike. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh. All right, so we're not putting the wheel on just yet. He wants to mount the rotor. Sorry.
Bracket to the caliper.
Thank you. I can't even speak at all. I'm language challenged today, apparently. So they actually provided these, and they already had Loctite on them as well, which is really nice. So we're gonna attach that guy, and then are you gonna do the speed sensor once it's on the actual?
Yeah, because the cable's kind of hanging.
Yeah. All right, so off camera, we've been kind of playing around with this, test fitting stuff, seeing how it works. You can actually run this brake wire, we believe, 2 different spots. We're trying to keep it in the factory spot. And in order to do that, there's actually a little notch here that allows you to run it down through that as well. So the reason why we're doing that is because then it comes down here and it looks super clean like that. The ABS line has to run down around like this, but then Dado's thinking he can actually zip tie that up to the brake line, so that, look at how clean that looks right there. So there's no wires pretty much visible at all, except for where they were in the stock setup. The only thing is, this is pretty tight right here. I mean, there's still some wiggle room, you can see, because this is gonna move, this whole setup's gonna move when you tighten and loosen the chain. This is all gonna move with it because it's all attached to the axle. So I believe Dado thinks we can do it this way. I think that we might be able to as well. So I think we're gonna start reassembly like this. I also sent a video to Manny to see and make sure that we can do it this way, but I think we're gonna start reassembly now. The next thing would be to attach the wheel. We haven't tightened anything down yet, and then we'll see how it works once the wheel's on and everything like that. All right, so we actually ended up having to pull the caliper off and unattach the brake line because it just, the tolerances were way too tight to get it all in together. So, and I had to give Dado a hand as well. So that was quite a bitch because this bracket, getting that thing where it needs to go, is very tiny tolerance. So now we got everything installed, obviously just loosely put on. Next thing we need to do, yeah, and look at this too.
So these brake pads, they literally just float in there. And if you don't have these spread apart while you're trying to line everything up, it just binds up constantly. So it'll be a lot easier for me to slide this on now with everything apart.
Yeah.
And keep in mind too, make sure you clean your rotor with some acetone or some rubbing alcohol or something that won't leave a residue. This should fit right on there like that.
That's a lot easier, holy shit, than what we were just trying to do.
Well, I try to not take things back apart.
Yeah.
But
that looks so freaking epic, dude. Wow. All right, so now we're gonna attach the rotor, and then we can attach the brake line, and then we can start routing some lines and stuff like that and tightening everything down.
So before, I noticed we couldn't see this notch here for the adjustment increments for this really nice billet aluminum adjuster. So I took a little silver Sharpie and just touched it on there, so whenever this much needed washer is on there, we can actually see it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit, you know, you see a little silver mark, but at least we'll be able to tighten it up and still, and then still line up the left and right side alignment. So
because the next thing we're gonna do is what, pop it off the rear stand?
Yeah, I'd like to take it off the rear stand because it'll give me room to tighten all these bolts and work in here. And it doesn't matter. Plus we can see how much movement with the swing arm and slack we have for that brake line. Should be good to go here.
Sweet, look at that. My God, that's beautiful.
Calling out Manny.
With the cleaner setup?
Yeah, so
we did talk to Manny, he said it should work, so.
Yes, it's a very stressful looking setup, but the neat thing is they made this bracket, you can't really see it right now. Let me get a flashlight here. Yeah. So there's a cutout notch right there, and I believe it's made for that.
Well, because they made that bracket, I believe. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that everything moves smoothly. And
obviously, we're gonna test all this stuff.
I'm moving the line. Look at there's slack.
Yeah, that's plenty of slack. Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to make sure that this fitting here, once it's on here, I'm able to tighten this and this.
that makes it worse. Take that thing away.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was just blinding us.
Yeah, I want to make sure that everything can be tightened properly. So let's work on that.
Okay.
Well, this is pretty epic. The tolerances where these lines sit in the fittings, like if you look, where's the other? This guy right here. That's at a very slight angle, and that's what this is here. It's pushing the line in just a little bit, and it's sitting all the way tucked up underneath through that bracket.
That is beautiful.
And up in, and it's tough for me to check, but I do believe that everything will move smoothly, and nothing is gonna.
Well, we'll know if we have rear brakes or not.
Yeah, real quick. I'll be on him, all of 245 pounds.
We won't be able to put our wheelies down.
So I tightened this and I crushed the washers. I used the factory, well, not factory, but the Brembo supplied banjo, and then this is a 13 mil up here, and then I'm gonna just snug that in and then just give it a little tug to make sure that flared fitting is seated properly. So right there, that's perfect. Then let's tighten up this sensor and then figure out what we're gonna do with these wires.
And we gotta tighten these down, right?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, so I'm cleaning all the dirt and grime behind the swing arm here, and I told Jaret I bought this for a project of mine. What it is 3M double-sided, or you can put screws in it, but it gives you these little notches, so you put on a flat surface, and it allows you to put a zip tie through and zip tie to something. And we have nowhere to zip tie this.
Yeah, it's the last line that we need to tidy up, the ABS line.
So we're gonna put this sticky thing behind here. I'm gonna zip tie this back here so it's nice and neat.
And out of the way.
And that'll take care of everything. And we realized something.
Oh shit.
So Jaret comes back and he goes, hey Dada, you just put the whole thing back together. Now, the good news is, all this hardware is for the rotor, but we can access it. We'll put it back on the rear stand, swap them all out, torque it down the spec with a torque wrench.
And then we'll have the beautiful.
Then we'll be done, yeah.
You can't even really see.
Good job, Jaret. I wasn't even around for the unboxing, so
that's why.
we'll just blame it on Teens.
Okay,
since she's
it
not
is.
here.
Big titty teens.
Yeah.
That's what the problem was. All right, look at that, folks.
Oh, Manny.
Look at that.
Take some notes, Manny.
Dude, that is so sick. So now we got our nickel-plated Brembo caliper with our carbon lines and new rotor in the back. And then the exact same setup with the big boys in the front and the carbon brake cooling ducts that are on backwards.
They are not on backwards.
We're kidding.
All right, so
what do we got left?
The only thing that's left back here is to adjust the chain properly. And now that
and
we
then
have,
do those our markings.
Yep.
So let's adjust the chain tension. That's what we'll do next.
Chain tension, what was it? What was
putting these bolts in?
Oh yeah, the tie bolts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, do it. So that's pretty crazy. So you can only tighten that by hand when the thing is loose, right? When this isn't tightened down?
Yeah, because essentially this, it's not even supposed to be by hand, but you know, I'm strong as fuck, boy. When you turn this little dial, this turns at every single notch and every single increment on the left side. So looks like we're at notch number 14 for both sides.
And the chain tension looks a lot better now too.
Yeah, it does.
The only reason I was saying that, Dad, was imagine if somebody could just walk up and move your...
No, because when you tighten up the axle, nothing moves.
Yeah, right, that's what I was,
So, looks like we're good. Chain tension looks really solid, really nice.
Yeah.
And it is up on the rear stand, but once we tighten that up, we're gonna double check.
We'll put it on the ground. Yeah. Okay, we'll tighten this bad boy up, and then do you want to do the bolts next?
Yeah, I'm gonna snug this. Let's figure out the chain first.
Okay.
I'm gonna snug down this bolt. We're gonna torque it down to spec and see if the chain is too tight.
Okay. All right, we got the chain adjusted. Next thing we're gonna do is torque down the rear axle nut, and it's 140 foot-pounds. So do that real quick, and then we'll be ready to move on to the rear rotor bolts, right? God, that's a lot of foot-pounds, dude. Do you need me to hold that? Rear brake?
Nope.
Oh shit, that's right, we don't have a rear brake.
And holding is not gonna do anything.
I know, my bad. Get it, Dado.
I don't wanna lift the whole bike up.
You are.
Got him!
Look at the difference these freaking make, guys. Holy shit. The only problem is you can only see one at a time.
No, you can see like 3.
Yeah. But,
so I'm just gonna snug them in very
and then we'll torque them down.
Yeah.
It tells you right on the thing. So these are T40 torques, and then I believe it said, fuck, what did it say? I threw the box out. Dado pounds. Like, is what we're going with. Oh my god. Torquing these down.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you hold the wheel.
Okay, I'm gonna hold the wheel.
Brake.
But can you just spin it so they can see them? Look at that. Dude, that is really, like, I want titanium. Manny, we need this for the whole bike. They look so good. I know you're not physically making these at Prototype, but I'm just saying, tell him to get them in for us because we want these for the whole bike. All right, let me help him torque everything down. I'll show you how it all looks. All right, everything is torqued down, and we took it off the stand. And that is the final rear brake setup. Looks absolutely incredible. Now those titanium bolts literally match the wheels. It looks, dude, I mean, that's one of the most beautiful rear brake setup we've done. We've got everything tucked away, no wires anywhere, and it just looks incredible. So I think that's it for this one. Don't forget, guys, you can be entered to win this bike. Patreon.com/Campisi Customs. It's always the first link in the description below. If you want to get any of these beautiful parts for your motorcycles, motomillion.com. You use code Campisi to save yourself some money. Dado, thank you for your hard work, brother. As always, you crushed it. Huge thanks to Big Titty Teens who disappeared. Oh, there she is. What do you think of that, Teens? It's pretty nasty, huh? Yeah, it's
so nice. It just ties really everything from the back to the front.
From the back to the front to the floor.
What?
Ties everything.
Ties with the titanium. So yeah, that's it. I'm really excited with that, and I'm excited that we can now actually put the front brake master on here, and then we can bleed the entire rear brake system to make sure that everything works while we have the bike apart, and then we'll be able to put it back together and ride it. So I'm really, really excited. I hope you guys are too. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a big juicy thumbs up, subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.